Fazbear Entertainment has been through a lot in the Fnaf lore, and after looking over and analyzing where they currently stand in the most recent Fnaf games, now I can say for certain that Fazbear Entertainment is by far the most threatening antagonist we've had in the lore so far. But to fully tell y'all why, we have to go back and take a little trip down memory lane. For Fnaf being as lore heavy as it is nowadays, it's actually pretty surprising when you remember that the original game actually had barely any lore behind it. Yes, there was a couple comments here and there about the bite of 87, or a poster talking about missing kids, but overall there was nothing that needed answering, quite literally because there was no answers to find. Scott Cawthon intentionally made the lore and the story behind this game unanswerable, not necessarily because he wanted to leave things open for a sequel. In fact, he thought that this was going to be his final game while he was creating it, but instead these questions were left open to add a whole other layer of eeriness into the game. And there is no doubt that Scott Cawthon did this 100% effectively. The original Fnaf is literally known for its dreadful and almost depressing atmosphere, and with that in mind, one of the many variables Scott Cawthon used to achieve this sort of atmosphere was the Fazbear Entertainment company itself. At this point in the lore, Fazbear Entertainment, also known as whoever founded Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, was completely unknown. There was no William Afton, there was no Henry Emily. In fact, you didn't even know the names of any humans at this point in the lore, and this exact fact is what made the founders of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza seem so much more terrifying at the time. Since you didn't know any human characters that could be candidates as the owner of this pizzeria, that means the only knowledge you have behind the people running Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is that they allowed the bite of 87 to happen. They allowed those 5 kids to go missing, and they allowed those same 5 kids to get stuffed inside of the animatronic suits. And those were quite literally the only facts that we knew about whoever is running Fazbear Entertainment. So at the time, to our best assumptions, all we could think is that Fazbear Entertainment is a bunch of possibly rich higher-ups who are either so evil and greedy that they'll either sit back and watch this sick stuff happen, or maybe there was a chance that they were the ones evil enough to be doing these deeds. Now, as the games continued, we learned more about who was really running behind the scenes of these establishments, and about how William Afton specifically is the one to blame for all this. But at the time, since we didn't know who William Afton was, the fear of the unknown could take over and give us an even sicker interpretation of who Fazbear Entertainment truly is. Ever since the release of FNAF 2 and 3, this unknown eeriness about Fazbear Entertainment was gone. We now knew who caused the missing children incident. We now knew who the higher-ups in Fazbear Entertainment is. And the root of all that evil could now be pinpointed down to one William Afton. Now, don't get me wrong, William Afton is still an amazing villain. I absolutely love his story arc and character development throughout the series. But with that said, the threat of a single killer just honestly isn't as threatening as an unknown company lingering over you at all times. The best example I can come up with to help convey this fact is a little anime known as Oshi No Ko. Oshi No Ko is an amazing commentary on the dark side of the film industry, and how what most people think is the place of dreams is really the place of business and corruption. Although multiple storylines are going on at once throughout the entire show, no matter what protagonists or antagonists are shown throughout these storylines, there is always one constant villain, and that villain being the film industry as a whole. This makes for one of the most unique and interesting stories I've seen in a while, because the same overarching villain is also the setting of the entire show. This adds a whole nother level of threatening to the film industry. Since every protagonist specializes in their own corner of this industry, they're practically spending the entire show on the enemy's territory. With that said, they're not necessarily trying to destroy the film industry, they're just trying to survive as the film industry destroys them. And this is exactly what's going on in the original Five Nights at Freddy's. You're not spending FNAF 1 trying to kill off Fazbear Entertainment, instead, you're spending FNAF 1 surviving surviving Fazbear Entertainment trying to kill you. And since Fazbear Entertainment is quite literally just a company, not a physical human at this point in the lore, this man versus society or man versus group, either one, take that the first FNAF gives off means that it's quite literally impossible for you to win. You can either lose by dying to the animatronics, or you can have a neutral ending where yes, you survive, but so does Fazbear Entertainment. No matter what you do, Fazbear Entertainment will remain victorious. And in terms of the first game alone, there is no changing that. But as the games continued and the franchise progressed, we quickly switched into more man versus man territory, where it's you versus William Afton. Michael Afton undoing the wrongdoings of his father. And like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with man versus man, and there's nothing wrong with William Afton's character. But having it turn into man versus man in the first place already gives the villains a chance to lose. A chance for the villains which never appeared in the first game alone, because of Fazbear Entertainment's unknown and anonymous identity. So from around 2015 to 2018, Fazbear Entertainment was no longer a threat. Instead, that threat was replaced with just a single man. But why am I saying specifically 2015 through 2018? Well, my friend, that is because 2019 was the release of FNAF Help Wanted. In FNAF Help Wanted, Fazbear Entertainment is back. But not the Fazbear Entertainment that we've known and learned about throughout these past couple years and these past couple games. Now there is someone brand new running the show. Can't be William Afton, he's dead. Can't be Henry Emily, he's dead as well. MatPat thinks that it's Mrs. Afton, but there's not really enough proof for the community to agree. Heck, it could be a grown-up robot version of Elizabeth Afton for all we know, but that's not the point. The point is that there's now a brand new face operating Fazbear Entertainment, a face that we pretty much know nothing about. It seems like we are back to the FNAF 1 days, where Fazbear Entertainment could be anyone, and the only evidence we have to think of who it could be is the fucked up shit that they do along the way. We have returned to the man versus society interpretation of the FNAF lore. Except now it's a bit more complicated because Fazbear Entertainment isn't the only antagonist in the new FNAF lore, but in terms of Fazbear Entertainment alone, not including anybody like the Mimic or Vanessa, it has gone back to the man versus society where we can't win. One of the biggest elements that conveyed FNAF 1's eeriness and threat level is now back, and that is the unknown identity behind Fazbear Entertainment. Except now, Fazbear Entertainment is even more terrifying than the FNAF 1 days, and this because from Help Wanted to Security Breach, Fazbear Entertainment has been more powerful than ever. And when I say they're more powerful, I mean that in a variety of ways. First of all, going back to the trope where the antagonist is the same as the setting itself, or at the very least the setting is somewhere where the antagonist is in control. In FNAF Security Breach, and especially FNAF Help Wanted, this trope, if you would like to call it that, is shown on a scale even bigger than before. I mean, in FNAF Help Wanted, you are quite literally stuck inside of a VR game coded by Fazbear Entertainment themselves. And because of this setting, Fazbear Entertainment has literally every single chance to either manipulate you or literally kill you if they wanted to. After all, it is their VR game you're stuck in, their world, where they control and have the final say on what's going on. We do see less of this in Security Breach because it does seem like most of the bad stuff happening in that game is mainly due to the Mimic and Vanessa instead of Fazbear Entertainment themselves. But nonetheless, even in Security Breach, we are in a giant mega mall funded and created by Fazbear Entertainment. In both of these games, we are still in Fazbear Entertainment's turf, where they are the ones in the most control. But with that said, that's only one of two reasons that the new Fazbear Entertainment is undoubtedly more threatening than the FNAF 1 interpretation. And the second reason is because of the rapid expansion of the Fazbear Entertainment business. Back in FNAF 1, Fazbear Entertainment was no more than just another Chuck E. Cheese. But now, judging by the size of the Pizzaplex, I wouldn't be surprised if Fazbear Entertainment is a multi-billion-dollar company. You heard me right, billions with a B. I mean, just look at all the stuff the Mega Pizzaplex has, and also all the lights and TVs and technology that they have acquired. All of that must be super damn expensive. I guess the best way to explain this using real-world variables and references is that back in Fnaf 1, Fazbear Entertainment was undoubtedly very similar to Chuck E. Cheese in the terms of they're just almost, I guess you could say, small-town pizza place restaurant with animatronics as their fun gimmick. But with the release of Security Breach, it seems like the new Fnaf buildings are more like Disney World instead of a Chuck E. Cheese, and it seems like Fazbear Entertainment themselves are about as powerful, if not more, than Disney. And in case you haven't connected the dots yourself, the reason this makes Fazbear Entertainment scarier is because with more power and more money coming straight their way, the more they can get away with whatever they want to do. All this power and opportunity coming straight this company's way, all while our protagonists are still just helpless little humans, with nothing they can use to top a literal billion-dollar business. So in conclusion, although the Fnaf lore may be more colorful and kid-friendly than it's ever been, ironically enough, Fazbear Entertainment as a whole is the most threatening and disturbing they've ever been as well. And I'm really excited to see what fucked up things Fazbear Entertainment does next in the lore. And then maybe we'll finally get an answer of who is running the damn company. But with all that said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and also comment down below y'all's thoughts on Fazbear Entertainment. Do y'all like the new thriving and powerful Fazbear Entertainment? Or do y'all prefer back whenever Fazbear Entertainment was more or less about the humans working inside of it instead of the actual company itself? Either way, let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye!